Well, good day now. Who do we have here? We have, what's your name? I forget. Joe Zina, who is the director of the Coolidge Corner Theater Foundation. And we have Mark Favermann, who is, well, what are you? You're a graphic, industrial, environmental designer and urban planner? All of that?
On sometimes the same day, too.
Well, that's great. And you're here to talk about yourselves and what you're planning to do with the Coolidge Corner Theater. First of all, just give us a rundown on how successful you've been at the Coolidge Corner Theater since you've been there. Joe?
Well, that's your assessment of it, but we're having a really good time at the Coolidge. Seems to be in a revival and rejuvenation phase. Things are going very well. The Coolidge is financially sound, finally. And we've been making steady improvements to the Coolidge in the last 3 years.
Well, that's great. How long have you been there now?
I've been the director for 3 years.
Wow. Time goes fast.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
When you never have a day off.
Well, that's what happens. You start working hard and you forget the days. It's 3 years? Oh, boy. And have you got all your seats put in?
Yeah, we just finished renovations upstairs. First we built a screening room, which is a great little experience for everyone in the community to come see. We do a lot of new and experimental films there, and we're doing some current runs of some independent films that are not seen anywhere else in town. And then we just finished the renovation of the second movie house upstairs, and that has a stage and theatrical lighting, and we're doing some children's variety shows there now every Saturday morning at 10:30. So it's a very different theater than it's been in the past few years, and we have all new seats. So all those really horrible seats that were upstairs have all been replaced, and it's really beautiful.
And you've embraced the whole community. You've taken in seniors. You had senior movies, didn't you?
Yep, we love the fact that we can do more for the seniors in the community. We've added some special programs for them on Wednesday matinees, which we presently aren't doing in the winter because we know less people will come out. But we'll either do that again, definitely, when the weather gets better. And we'll also continue the program Movies on Wheels, I hope, this winter.
That's great.
Thanks.
You get a raise.
Am I going to get a raise?
Well, we'll talk. We
have to talk to the board and the advisory council.
We'll see if you deserve it. Mark Favermann, tell us about you. You've got a lot of accomplishments, a lot of awards here. And what are you planning to do for our Brookline Theater?
Well, I met Joe about 2 years ago, and his enthusiasm and his vitality was sort of contagious. I think my wife and I were invited to a reception for old donors. I think we gave a modest amount at the beginning of the revitalization process, and we were on some list. And when I got there and I looked outside, and I said to myself that, you know, this marquee is really bad, and maybe we could do something to help it. And we spoke at the reception. I think you were probably there as well. I said, you know, one of the things that we do quite well is environmental graphics and signage, and we'd like to take a shot at maybe giving you a new design. What do you think? And Joe thought long and hard about it, maybe 30 seconds. He said, go for it. And so we, over the past year, we did a number of design options, and we started working with the problem to solve, which is the entrance is along the side of the building. It's not in the front. The marquee currently is in the front of the building. This is a picture, by the way, of the existing marquee that will be replaced in its entirety.
Is that why you thought you needed a new?
Yes, this is probably was probably put up in the early 70s.
I was just going to ask how long it's
maybe
been.
Late 60s. It's very traditional in all aspects of the movie theaters of that period, but it doesn't suggest the kind of warmth and vitality and excitement and even sense of community that the Coolidge has regenerated itself into becoming an institution for. And we think that it needs something more. But Brookline has one of the most restricted and restrictive sign covenants in the whole country. So it was an uphill battle.
I wonder why that is.
Probably because Brookline is not a visual place. It's a literary and musical place. And I think we're going to make it a little bit more visual as time goes on. But what we came up with was a Art Deco inspired tower with an Egyptian headdress on it and with finials on the sides. And one of the problems with the old one, if we can go back to that for a minute, Joe, is that trucks would hit it because it overhung the sidewalk into the street. So if a large truck came by and the driver wasn't terribly sensitive, they would smash into it. So there are a lot of nicks and bruises on this existing canopy. The new one is going to be set back over the sidewalk about halfway. So
before you go any further, don't you have to get permission to do this?
Yes. And what we did is we went through the planning process.
Planning board.
We went to the planning board. Before that, we went through inspectional services for the town, and they have to reject us in order for us to appeal it. And so we got rejected on, I think it was 7 variances were needed.
Wow.
And 3 special permits. And we went to the planning board. It was unanimously endorsed by everybody on the planning board.
That's something.
Then we went to the Board of Appeals, and it was unanimously endorsed there. And so as far as we know, it is the first project to go through that process in such a positive way, in such a quick way. Clearly, the town fathers and the people involved in the town want something to happen here. And even if we break all the rules to do it, we're going to have something that's quite exciting. We tried to attempt to make the new tower marquee / sign a landmark type of image.
I can see comes away.
Joe and other members of the board got 33 adjacent store owners and merchants in Coolidge Corner to endorse it. No negatives were ever stated, but can you imagine getting 33
no,
merchants
I can't
in Coolidge
imagine
Corner
in Brooklyn
to agree on something. So that
something.
endorsement was kind of ringing, and that was great. The finials on the side will be probably backlit, and or as it's referred to in the trade, it's internally illuminated, and then will be edged in neon. We will be using fiber optics on this. We will be outlining things with fiber optics and neon. The canopy will act as a overhang for people waiting in line, since the lobby is so small for shows. And there will also be an LED, which will allow for messages to be transmitted over here as the LED.
Excuse me, I just want to know, where will the entrance be?
It'll be where it is now, along the side.
Oh, you're not going to be able to put it in the front?
No, not at this point. Maybe in the future we could plan that to happen again, but that would be a long time out in the future. But right now it's still on the side of the building. The design also developed itself into some interesting potential logos, and one of them is right here, and this is maybe the new logo, and there's another logo that could be on be used as well. That's on the front of the marquee.
What happens to the store next door?
Nothing.
Next door. Nothing?
No,
that
no,
stays
we
the
have
same?
no impact on the pizza place that's right below us.
I see. I was wondering if that would interfere in any way.
No, it'll be actually better defined. Our marquee will be shorter on the overhang over the store that's presently there. So the point of what Mark's design is to really direct people to the corner of the building, which is our entrance in the alley, and to lure them into the entrance of our actual theater entrance doors.
The canopy will actually draw people down the side of that alley. It's longer on this side than it is on the Harvard Street side. Additionally, there will be more information that could be gotten from the LED board and from poster boards that will be there as well, so that there will be a lot more communication going on, and it will be a more contemporary type of communication.
How long does this project take?
To have it happen? It'll probably happen sometime in the spring. It'll be up.
Yes, I want to fill you in on a couple of important details about this.
Such as who's financing it?
Absolutely. We have an anonymous donor has pledged all of the money that we'll take to do this
Is his
marquee.
name Santa Claus?
It's, yes, something like that. No, he believes strongly, one, he loves the Coolidge. He and his wife, actually, and they want to remain anonymous. But they love the Coolidge, they love what it stands for, that it's a nonprofit, that we're in the community, that it's vital, that we're preserving this Art Deco theater. It's the last one in the area. And they just believe that a new marquee would totally uplift everyone's perception of the Coolidge, which has been changed over time.
It'll uplift the whole Coolidge Corner area.
Well, and that would be nice too. I think that, you know, we can,
sure.
that the Coolidge will be a centerpiece for the community and the businesses, and rejuvenate the economy in our area would be a terrific.
Might encourage other storekeepers to do something with there.
And I think that's what's also very important and beautiful about Coolidge Corner is that the storefronts facades on the, are really in an Art Deco design. If you really look closely at many of the cast concrete and things like that in the arcade building, for instance, all that was done in an Art Deco period. So we do have this mini Art Deco district in Coolidge Corner that I think this will really accentuate.
The theater opened in 1933 at the height of the Art Deco period, and so that it's very nice that we can come back to it and stylistically sort of reinforce the history of it, but also do it in a contemporary way.
I think it's very exciting. Exciting for the people who...
There's also one other piece that we haven't discussed, which will happen eventually, and that is on this wall over here, there's going to be a mural. And we have to go back to the planning board and show them our design.
I think it might be a picture of Mark.
I don't think so. only as an Art Deco individual.
I do want to make a very important statement about Mark Favermann, in that he is doing this entire project pro bono.
Oh my goodness.
So he's donated all of his services and the services of his staff and all of these mock-ups, all of the work that it took to go to town hall to get everything approved.
That is
so
wonderful.
He has been a very generous person, and I like people like that.
Oh, I know that you would like people like that. I think that's wonderful. Have you been a Brooklineite all your life?
Only 18 years. I'm not from here.
Where are you from?
I'm from Virginia originally, but I've lived here 18 years. So.
And you like Brookline that much?
I like Brookline a lot. And I was involved with a couple other projects along the way.
Well, I was going to come to you and ask you, tell us about you, now that we've seen this project. Tell us where you're from and what your business is all about.
Well, I came up here to be in the Army, believe it or not, during the Vietnam War, and I was stationed in Natick at the Natick Labs. And then I reapplied to graduate school. I had been drafted at a graduate school at the University of Virginia, and I reapplied to graduate school, and I went to the graduate school of design at Harvard.
I took a course there.
Did you?
It shows, Bernice.
And I finished there, and I liked the area, and I stayed, basically. And so for about 12 years, I lived in Cambridge, and then I got married, and about 4 or 5 years later, my wife said that we need to live in a place where we can raise a family and have a school system that's good. So it took, I think, about 3 to 5 days for me to adjust to living in Brookline. And I've liked it ever since. My daughter is a freshman at the high school, and she's on the varsity soccer team.
Wow.
And we live in the Baker School area in Brookline. And a few years ago, there was another major project in town that I was involved in. It was called the Ryder Cup.
Oh, sure.
And many people saw the banners and some of the signage on the street. And that was something else that I did for the town. And that was very successful. We raised a lot of money for the town that go into various things.
That's wonderful.
And
very good.
About a year or so ago, we redesigned the look for the farmers market in the town. So the signs that you see directing people to the farmers market rise as well. So there are a number of projects. I'm also involved in the Brookline Commission for the Arts, and that is another sort of area that I'm interested in, and helping the arts develop and flourish in the town, and make it more visually exciting.
Are you on the planning board, maybe?
We are involved in planning issues now, which is very good. we changed the name of the Council for the Arts and Humanities to the Brookline Commission for the Arts, and subsequently we now are involved in transportation issues and planning issues and other things. So,
well, congratulations. And he just picked you up.
Well, I wouldn't exactly use that phrase, but no, his enthusiasm, his excitement about what he was doing is very appealing to me and to help. And the board members are also that way. And I was just appointed to the advisory committee recently, so I'm one of the advisory committee members as well of the Coolidge. And I feel very good about that because it's really a sense of community when you go to the theater and you participate in any of the events.
Well, Brookline is that way anyway.
But the Coolidge is really a nice reflection of Brookline. It really is. It mirrors a very warm and very high level.
Do you see any other projects stemming out of that you will get involved in?
Well, we were talking about doing some things on the interiors that we would like, and we'd like to do some posters for some of the events coming up, so that would be nice. There's some wonderful things involved with I guess, resources that have been untapped. There are lighting fixtures that are all through the Coolidge that I think people would love to have as sconces. So one day maybe there'll be a Coolidge corner sconce that could be sold and develop revenue for the theater.
That's great. That's wonderful. What else have you got in mind for the Coolidge Corner Theater? You're always coming up with a new idea and a new plan.
Well, as I said, we finished renovating 2 theaters upstairs, and now we're concentrating on the MARQUEE, which hopefully will happen early spring if everything goes well. And then we still have the main theater that we're trying to renovate, and we hope to also install an elevator in the theater because
they're handicapped.
There are a lot of handicapped people, and we're all going to grow old into the Coolidge. We want to go there and we want to see everything on every level. And so there's a lot to do, and the theater is available to do that. And
you don't have to move your offices.
We don't have to move my offices. It'd be nice if I had a bigger one, but that's okay.
And you've got a landlord that is cooperating.
Our landlord, Harold Brown, has been extremely supportive of the Coolidge. As many of you may know, the Coolidge, when it was in financial trouble, it was back rent and debt and all that type of stuff that we were indebted to. And he forgave all of our back rent, about $260,000. He actually just said, okay, I'm from Brookline. I believe in the Coolidge Corner Theater. I want it to be here. It's my community, and he works with us, and he's very supportive. He helps us find other potential donors, and
it's very interesting about the community of Brookline that I should say, seem to encourage people to donate. I don't know of many other communities that have that kind of input.
I agree with you. I think it's also, schools are very important to us in education, and we're one of the few communities that have voted for taxes to pay for schools.
One of the other things that I'm very excited about the Coolidge, and it's all this rejuvenation thing, is that Coolidge, not Coolidge, but Brookline itself has a lot of talented students and children. There are so many, the whole arts program in the school systems is very well supported and administered, and kids are encouraged to sing, to dance,
well, you
to
yourself
act.
were a professor or teacher?
I was,
yeah.
And so I feel like I'm in the right community for the vision that I have about what the theater can become, and I see that with our children's program upstairs, we do have local kids performing with our professional talent on the weekends, and we hope to, when we renovate the downstairs, build yet another stage, a larger stage, that we'll be able to have even more live performance.
Well, how about teenagers? A Major Bowes amateur hour.
Oh, yeah, we love that.
Yeah,
we love that.
Well, really, there's a lot of talent, and the kids have no place to...
Basically, this MARQUEE and this new sign will symbolize the fact that the Coolidge is a community cultural center, not just for film and video, but also for performing arts.
A theater for all reasons.
Yeah.
And all seasons.
In all seasons. That's great. So what can we look forward to? In the spring, we're going to see this, and he's going to contribute all the wonderful posters and ideas. Do you have any other ideas that are coming up that we should know about?
Well, every year Coolidge hosts something very special. It's the Oscar Shorts.
It's actually on our marquee here.
Oscar Shorts.
The Oscar Shorts, which will be coming in March, the week before the Academy Award films are announced.
So these are all the films that you see on television getting awards that you never saw, but you can go see them at the Coolidge. And it's what's the third annual?
It'll be our third annual, and it's actually our annual fundraiser. So it's a very special evening for people in the community to come and support the Coolidge. And
how did we find you?
I actually was found by an existing board member who invited me to join the board as a volunteer, which I did. I volunteered for 2 years. And I came to a lot of meetings, but I got sort of preoccupied and spent a lot of time thinking about the Coolidge and fixing it up. And it became my art project in my spare time. And
now you, with a partner, run Rug Road?
We used to.
You don't do it anymore?
No, we closed that last December. So I am full-time.
Well, let's tell the audience what Rug Road Paper Company was.
It was in a studio for artists to come and make artworks in handmade paper and to do prints. But I also had a wholesale business of manufacturing handmade paper. But those days, 18 years of that, I was in my studio every day, and I just felt like it was time to go out into the community and do some good deeds. And do a little artwork, too?
I
don't get to do much artwork now. I consider the Coolidge my art project with this renovation and development.
Total performance piece, so to speak.
It's a total performance thing, sure.
And what other involvement in the arts do you have, Mark?
Well, as I said, I was on the commission. I'm the design critic for Art New England. I've been writing for them for 14 years.
Very good.
And in the past, I've taught the history of design at BU. And I lecture occasionally around the country on, of all things, sports design. That's another specialty of ours. And
what is that?
Well, we designed the World University Games in 1993 in Buffalo. We designed the Olympics in Atlanta in 1996, the Ryder Cup. We also did the NCAA Final Four in Indianapolis in 2000. And this past year, we were the consultants to USA Track and Field. And we did all the track meets around the national championships and the other ones. And then in 2002, we're going to be working on the Commonwealth Games in Manchester, England. In fact, during 9/11, I was over in England, so I was caught over there for 6 days and couldn't return home.
Hasn't the state grabbed you for anything?
No.
I guess they don't know you exist. Maybe after this program.
In Boston, you know, it's very hard to be recognized. So I'm much more important, I think, outside the city than here.
No, you're important, but that's not it. They haven't recognized it yet. When they see the program or hear about you, might take you away. Take you away.
So I did want to make one final statement, if I could, about the Coolidge Corner Theater, because it is a foundation.
All right, make it fast.
It is a nonprofit organization. Yes. So we solely do exist by people becoming members of the Coolidge, and that really does show support. And by being a member, they get to go to the movies for $3 off. And we do an annual appeal, and so we do need the support of the community.
Well, we'll tell them all now.
We are. I'm telling you all right now that you can always send a check. It's tax deductible. You can even transfer some stocks. No, I'm serious. We have been, this is the first time it's ever happened, but people have been transferring inherited stocks to the Coolidge.
That's wonderful.
And it's wonderful. So the Coolidge has been here already for 68 years. And this is the rebirth of the Coolidge, and we hope that it will continue for 100 more years. But it really does exist because
like
the
Steve
community
Grossman is a businessman and a politician. You're an artist and a businessman.
Well, yeah, I think that's
which is a wonderful combination.
One of the things that, you know, in order to succeed at art, you also have to be a business person.
And I think that's pretty good coupling, as they would say in French. Mark, I want to thank you very, very much for coming. And I wish you...
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and I wish you all the success with the Coolidge. I'm kind of partial to it myself. And you, see you later, and thanks for
Bernice.
coming. Okay, dear, take care. And we'll hope a lot of people see it and send in their contributions.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.